Welcome to the Innovators Insider live stream podcast. Today, we're going to look over Onshape release 1.162, and there are some really great things in there. I'm Richard Doyle, the user group guy, and I'm here with my friend and co-host, Mike LaFleche, the professor. Michael, what a pretty exciting release we've got today, huh?
Yeah. I always love release day, but this one is really, really exciting.
It is.
There's a ton of things that will please people, especially coming from other CAD systems. And I'll just say it. There's a lot of things that you're gonna really enjoy.
Yep.
I don't want to steal my own thunder. I think you read the release notes. You've already seen, a lot of the stuff, but we're going to get into some great detail. We're going to do some stuff live here. But there's just a lot of things. And I think I'm going to start on the nice kind of simple things, actually. Now, because there's a lot of like in-depth, crazy, deep stuff too in this release. So it's from both sides, we're getting a lot of new functionality.
You bet. Hey, Lewis, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us today. You're right. An amazing April month, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's this one I've been so excited about to show, and I'm going to show it right now.
All right.
Let's go over here. All right, I have a blank screen. Not very exciting, but let's put something on it. Let's talk about the first thing in the Part Studio that we introduced, and I think this is going to be one of those things that just make people so happy. Let's see. Am I on the right plane? I wasn't. Top plane. We're going to create a sketch. I'm going to draw a line. Let me turn on my origin. All right. So there we are. We got a, let me just zoom the fit there. So I got a horizontal line, right, Richard? Right?
Yep.
Nothing too special. But if I kind of go out here and hover close to the end, look what happened.
Nice.
Yeah, we all know what system does that and how nice it is, and we're doing it now as well. So
yep, and frankly, I think some of our Onshape users probably missed this functionality if they came from from a previous CAD system. Yeah, it's here now. It works great.
Yeah, just look at that. We can inference other geometry. Of course, I can go to another arc as well. We can also use a keyboard shortcut. See that?
Yep.
I'm using Shift A. Shift A on the keyboard to switch between that, right? So it makes it really easy to also do it if you don't want to be nuanced to get the exact kind of like motion going, right?
Yep,
So
look at that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that is auto transition from line to arc and vice versa, and a new keyboard shortcut, because keyboard shortcuts are all about productivity and speed, right? So Shift A, just do it, right?
Yep.
Add, yeah.
give it a try. I guarantee. I that was one of the first things I tried when I saw the release come out today. And you know what? I did it like 3 or 4 times because it's just fun to do, and it works so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go one here. Let me zoom the fit again. Yeah, it was really tiny. So
that's a long line you got there.
Yeah, it was. I was struggling with my units there. So let me just go back to the top plane here again. What am I using for units in this document? We're in inches. All right. All right. So here we are. I'm gonna create another sketch. Let's just have a little more fun with the auto transition. All right, so we got that. And I'm just gonna finish off this box here. Tangency there. I think I was a little sloppy, but there we are.
Yep. You missed the what's the word I'm looking for?
The inference.
It was the inference. That's it. It was there. I saw it flash.
Yeah. I was just I got a new mouse here. I'm still getting used to it. Look what the next option is.
Thin feature.
That
is sweet.
Yeah. So I kind of did it by accident there, but it was already set from the last time I did it. But so thin extrude, right?
Yep.
So thin extrude, right? You just hit extrude like normal. Yeah, I happen to be in the sketch when I hit the extrude button here. You can also hit the letter S on the keyboard and customize this to throw that in here. But here's extrude, right? Then extrude, you have solid, surface. Now we have thin, right? And all the other options still apply. New, add, remove, intersect, as well as direction 1 and 2, symmetric in each direction in the Z, right? You know, we got starting offsets. All the other things that extrude does automatically work with the thin extrude, right? So it's really nice to be able to have that. So if I just pick that profile, see it's giving me, you know, to the outside, to the inside, right? You know, let's say you want it on the mid plane, right? You know, you just
there it is.
Each direction, right? So you can do it that way. You have to take a look at the top profile here. You can see what's going on. And draft also works, right? So,
wow.
Right, you know, look at that. You know, second in position.
Wow.
Right. I mean,
the draft on that as well.
Draft
Beautiful.
on that as well. Yep. Right. We'll go on the other. So that's pretty cool. A lot of stuff there in one feature that you were able to make. And of course, you know, since we drafted it, we would want to check our, you know, draft analysis and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, you know, as somebody that's used a lot of different CAD systems, and you know, frankly, when you have a tool that you've used in the past that isn't available in your current system, you know, you find ways to get to work around that, and you know, you hope eventually that kind of enhancement will end up in the product, and it usually does in Onshape. But the thing about it is, when something like this finally does end up in Onshape, it is designed so well, and it just works so well for everybody, and that's the thing that amazes me, I think, the most of all.
Yeah, I really enjoy that aspect of things too. Like when this thin feature came out, it just instantly worked like the rest of Extrude, and then all the other benefits of multi-part modeling still apply and everything, right? So let's just do one more.
Hey, our friend Tutal Toby has joined us, and also the engineer. Good to see you guys. You know, before the show started, Michael and I were talking, and we were talking about this thin feature, and Mike said, yeah, you know, I think Tutal Toby's really going to like this one. Look at that. Look at the comments.
Yeah.
Of course he likes it.
Yeah. It's, yeah, this one, I just knew, I definitely thought of you, Tutal Toby. I mean, I was like, he's going to be over the moon. That auto transition from line to arc is there, and the thin
feature. Yep.
Right. It's like, yeah, that's I'm so excited for it too. It's really good. Yeah. So really exciting too. Airwick, thanks for joining us as well. Yeah. we all know it. We all know it. Yeah. So let's keep it going. But as you can
see, we're just getting started here. Well, wait till they see the other stuff.
I know. And this was the basic stuff first, you know, which I like to get out of the way. But yeah, thin extrude just works really nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's you can use it in very complex rib situations. If you're designing bracketry, if you're you know, any kind of thin plastic parts with a consistent wall thickness, you know, there's many reasons to do a thin extrude.
Tubing with only one, you know, one sketch, one circle in your sketch.
There you go. Yeah, you get tube. Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that one, Richard. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so this is good stuff. I'm happy with it, and hopefully everybody else will enjoy.
Yep, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
We've got a LinkedIn user that's joined us, so welcome, LinkedIn user.
Welcome. Yes. Let's go to the what's new list here. I should know, but there was a lot of stuff in it. All right,
hit the big one first, aren't you?
I did hit the sketch, you know, the thin
transition
here and the auto transition, but there are a number of other things that because, you know, we are in the mode of adding more shortcuts, we you know, we saw Toby's video recently last week there on shortcuts, and like, oh, let's add some more. Why not, right? So, you know, hide and show sketches, Shift H. Let's try that. I haven't tried it yet. Shift H. Oh yeah, there we are.
Oh yeah. That is one that I will use quite often.
Shift H. I will definitely use that one a lot too. What else? Oh, a revolve with a keyboard shortcut. All right.
Nice.
let's give that a whirl. Let's edit this. Yeah, that'll I can
Yeah, that'll revolve nicely.
Shift H to bring it back. Shift W to revolve.
There it is.
Revolve that. Now the axis I want to have. This is going to freak a lot of people out. Let's watch this. Revolve axis. I don't have a sketched line for my axis, but what I do want to do is move the axis out in the Y direction. Oh, not that direction, the other Y. Either -1. All right. I'm doing weird stuff on the fly. Just pardon me, but something I just thought could happen nicely.
Maybe that's maybe a new segment for the podcast. Michael's weird stuff on the fly.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm trying to show here, and not doing a fantastic job, but you see what I did there? In the middle of my revolve, I shift W into revolve. I picked what I wanted to revolve. We don't need a special axis to revolve about, but you can actually turn on this implicit make connector and actually move where that axis should be coming from on the fly, right? So I would say, maybe positive ½ inch. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I was looking for. So
there you go.
Putting the axis out ½ inch in that direction. I should have just, I'm a little colorblind, so sometimes I don't see the red in the red there. But that's another way of doing a revolve, with the axis. If you don't have one drawn in, you can just use implicit make connector or a regular make connector, because a make connector in Onshape is actually like a plane and an axis all wrapped into one. It's like a special thing, and it can do many, many different things. I think during the user groups, we often have presentations like this.
We've had one called "Everything You Can Do with Mate Connectors," and it's just a fantastic presentation, and definitely worth the 30 minutes to look at that.
Yeah.
Nicholas has joined us, and Ron Tiso. Nicholas, we haven't gotten to that one yet. You're starting to give away our secrets here.
We're getting there. One other keyboard shortcut, sketch point. Yeah, there are reasons for using sketch points for various reasons, right? So Shift P, was it Shift P or was it Shift S? Sorry, Shift S. Yeah, there's Shift S, and now I can put a point, right, and do things to the points. Okay.
I like that.
All right, so there we are. So more keyboard shortcuts for our productivity. All right, we already talked about that. Let's talk about the Helix improvements. So interestingly enough, you could define helical curves. We've been able to do this for a long time, obviously, but this method is really smart, and I'm going to play the video here since I didn't prepare a model for this. My colleague Roy prepared this video. Let's take a look at this bottle of, cough syrup or whatever it is. So we've obviously had the ability to do it by a cylindrical face, which is nice. You just pick a face and it puts it on there. You can pick an edge, a circle, a sketch, whatever it is. In this case, we're defining it by the edge at the top of the bottle, defining a start angle, but sometimes a start point is a little bit better. Instead of trying to type in, I want to start at 267 degrees.
Right. And
maybe
it doesn't work. Type in 252 degrees and
yeah. So, it's nice to be able to start with a start point, right? So being able to pick that start point. But what's really nice is this next option that we're going to see right here, because it's going to, let's actually move forward just a little bit. I'm in number of turns, and instead of height, we're going to give the end condition being an end point. So it's point to point, right? We're starting at this point, which we had sketched in, right? And then we're ending at this other point. Okay, so that would be a little bit more difficult to mathematically do. I mean, you do it obviously, but now we're just doing it parametrically by those points that are defined as sketch points, and we're able to place it in, and we can, if we want to change it from number of turns to maybe, and you can see what it's doing. It's automatically calculating in the background what the computed revolutions are. We want to get 6 revolutions, and it's coming up with 5.798, right? So that's
close enough.
Close, it's showing you how close you're getting, right? Because it can't get there, right? So
right. Yeah, you ran out of geometry, right?
Right. You can also change it, by pitch, right? So if you want a pitch of target pitch quarter inch, that's what is computing it at right there based on these 2 points. But it's going to get as close as it can with that target pitch. Right. So pretty cool.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yep. So for anybody, plastic parts, molding in threads, medical screws, crazy springs, custom springs, things like that. This is what customers will use it on. I'm sure there's going to be more in that, but yeah, definitely, I'm glad that people are understanding how cool this is actually.
Yep. Lewis says it's a game changer.
Yeah. All right. Feature script stuff. I'm gonna go back to FaceBlend. Don't worry.
Yep. It's funny when I first read through the forum post on new release day, and all I have to do is see the word feature script, and I can imagine Chad Stolfus with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
New stuff for feature script, he says. Yes.
In this, feature script is awesome for creating geometry that is directly related to the IP that you're creating at your company. You know exactly what you want. You're going to design a custom feature that does what you manufacture, right? And that's like what people like Chad and stuff do with Onshape with feature script. They're writing a custom CAD application almost, but they don't have to like host anything or anything like that because they can code right inside of Onshape. But here is Neil Cook with an example that he has created to generate a spline through curve points. So perhaps we imported some points. You can see the custom features in the tree. He's imported some points. And now he's going to approximate a spline through this. And of course, this is just the imported curve. And you can see the curvature combs aren't that great, kind of sharp. Jumpy, might have been an imported, he imported the curve, right? So we want to kind of create a new curve over this that is going to have higher quality so we can get to, essentially, so essentially he's approximating a spline through these points. Now watch what happens. He's going to hit the approximate option in his custom feature. And he's going to be able to set the degree and tolerance of that spline. So it's a 3rd degree spline. He's showing the max deviation up here at the top. That's being reported by feature script and Onshape. But he's increasing the degree of that spline. Right. So you can see you can get to a very high order spline here. This is where my mathematical skills are starting to falter just a little bit on the fly. But watch this video because, there's so many things that can be done now through feature script to create, really good curves, which create really good surfaces, right? So Neil's just gone out and built all these like custom features. He has a custom feature machine, and he's showing these examples here as kind of like tools or helpers to help us understand how this can be used in your own custom features, right?
Nice.
So, the reason why this one is nice is because he's created a custom feature that is essentially a sweep with twisting. That's showing us the quality of the curve that's being created. Here's another one here. He created this thing called Super Sweep. I'm sure if we ask him nicely, he'll comment on the forums and share a couple of these custom features, because this one is a really nice one because we have a sweep and we can scale the beginning of it, and we can even twist, twist it
Oh, that's
along.
cool.
And it's going to be high quality surfaces. This is not, like it's real geometry. It's not like a bent, operation like I've seen in other kind of CAD applications. So this is the basis for any custom feature. You can create any custom feature you want, of course, right? Like this. But if we're going to do things like this too, natively with features that we're providing, this is the start of that, right? We work it on Onshape, right? So that one I was really excited about. And if anybody's in the feature script, you can look at this and it's a playground of cool things. All right. I'm going to go to the big one.
Yeah, let's go to the big one.
All right. The big one is Face Blend. Face Blend is a tool set. All right. I think of this as a tool set. It's a number of surfacing options that can be used when you want to create a blend between two surfaces, whether they're connected or not, right? So that is really cool. So I'm going to go in here. I have a document here with a bunch of things we can go through to try this out. So we have two surfaces disconnected. All right. I am going to create a face blend, which I can find right here. You pick two sides, right? I'm going to pick this side. I'm pick that side. Now you want to pick, what your radius is going to be, whether it's a width or anything like that, tangent propagation or not, cross section. Let's make this 1 inch because, that previously it was a little too small. But, to be able to, create that. And I have a circular cross section now, but I could set this to a conic with a row value, right? Or I could set, curvature continuity. Let's see what the, for maybe make this radius 1.5, see what that does for us. How do I know that this is going to make a nice blend? Yeah, zoom back to fit here, put that back in. Side 1, side 2, and 1/4. Let's do that. So you can show ISO curves to show the quality of the surface first, right? That's nice to see how the blend is happening. Let's go to another place to look at this kind of stuff. Let's go, we can look at, of course, curvature mapping zebra stripes, right? Now you can see it's not curvature continuous right now because of that, the way those lines are. But if we, go to curvature, we're going to get to a better look there. But another more kind of deep looking way of looking at that is color mapping, right? So we can see even in the preview of the blend, we're able to kind of see what's going on as we change the curvature values here. If we went to circular, we're not getting any blend into the other surface, but once we go to curvature, we're seeing a nice blend
that's sweet.
kind of happening here. We can also detach it, right? So that means, let me just go regular shaded mode now. It's going to create a third surface now in this case, right? So that might be what you're looking for, right? There are many. This is like just one of those like toolkits that you can make many different things, and that's really what I'm trying to get at here.
Yep. And when I saw this one this morning, I looked at it with amazement, and I thought, well, this is really great for our customers that are doing surface modeling. And then I saw the second example, and I thought, this is really great for our customers that are doing solid modeling. So the face blend doesn't just work on surfaces; it also works on solids.
Yeah. And that's the way all the tools work in Onshape pretty much. Like if you use the surface tool or fillet tool, it's going to work on a solid or a surface, right? All right, let's look some more. Let's look at some more items here. Command, or is it Control tab? Command is tab. That's not what I'm looking at. Is it Control tab? Nope. Option tab. There is a way to Shift Tab. Look at the keyboard shortcut list. You would think I would know this by now. But I want a quick forward. Control spacebar, Shift Control spacebar. Okay. Control spacebar is a way of kind of going to the next tabs within a document, right? So it'll go to the tabs that, so you can use Control spacebar, and it's going to go to the tabs that have been recently used now. See what I did there?
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to open them all up. So that way I can blend through. So Control spacebar. That's what I meant to say. All right. So Control spacebar. I'm going to go to this next example right here. So I want to do a face blend, but simulate a hold line fillet, right? We're going to go to the face blend. We're going to go to side 1, where I'm going to pick this vertical face. Side 2, I'm going to pick this horizontal face. Of course, there's a regular old fillet, but let's make this a little bit bigger where, that's, not going to work. So I want to set some limits on this. Constraints and limits are here. And I can set a hold line. So I can pick the edge that's going to have the tangency, and look what it did.
That's nice.
So, we can do that plus all the other, we have different cross sections right here. Rolling ball is what I'm going to talk about now, but we can do a radius-based fillet, or in this case, we don't want to use these options. I don't think it would make sense, but all I wanted to do was just like pick this edge for it to be tangent to and hold there, right? So that's that's something that I think a lot of people have been wanting. There were other ways around it, but this is just an easier way of doing it. By the way, if I go back into that face blend, let's go to side 1 and 2 again. Oh, yeah, I got to go back to my old mouse. This mouse is a little nuts. All right. And we'll do tangent. Okay. Another, under control, right? We have circular, conic, curvature, but we also have chamfer.
Nice. Oh, beautiful.
So you can just add a chamfer. You can, in this case, a face blend. You're not going to use face blends for everything. Use a fillet when you want to use a fillet.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's going to be a fillet or a chamfer. But in this case, for this level of control, we thought we would throw chamfer in here as another option to connect it with a kind of 2 points, like that, right? So we can show the ISO curves as well to see the quilt over that.
Beautiful. If 3 options are good, 4 must be better.
Yeah. Localized tangent hold lines and disconnected faces. Say that twice fast. Let's go here and here. We're going to do, we can do a tangent hold line local with that edge. And let's see, I might need to add both to the top here. I forget how this works. Oh, let's get rid of that. Go to circular. We're going to go to a radius. Oh, I see what's going on. See the arrows?
Yep. You're upside down. There. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So it's just upside down. So here it's showing us, how it can create geometries like this, right? Where we're using this hold line. We have one tangent hold line, and that's influencing the fillet in this particular way. However, you can go on the inverse as well. Where you can do all sorts of strange shapes from here. This one's not going to be a good example for that one. I think I have another one that's a little bit better for this one. So here, I'm going to go to side 1. Side 1 can actually be made of multiple faces, by the way. If it's going to like go over that curve that I have in here that I've split on this face here. So under constraints, I'm going to choose tangent hold line, invert it. There we are. So
Wow.
that's that. So if we go tangent, it'll show the difference here. That's that inverse. It's just going in the other direction. Yeah. So yeah, that's another way of creating a connection between geometries.
Very nice. We welcome in a couple new guests. Patrick Collins is here, and Glendon's with us today. Thanks for joining us. And Eduardo and Sebastian have finally arrived. I was wondering where they got to. You know.
Hey, Eduardo, how you doing? Yeah, Sebastian's throwing Eduardo some chat GPT love here too, right?
Sebastian's been having some fun with chat GPT. You should check out some of his posts in the forums.
They're just, it's so fun. It's so fun. We could almost do a whole show on the Sebastianisms of GPT. It's just great.
Yeah, I'll put that down for a future episode.
Okay. What's next? Here we are. Asymmetrical variable radius fillets with two, what did I give it the name as? Two conic hold lines. Okay. So there's a lot of use cases here, as you're saying.
Yeah, I see another comment from Toby coming real soon.
All right, so there's that. We're doing conic hold lines. Now, conic edges, you can pick more than one as well. So I can pick this, I can pick that, I can pick this, right? So that's one way. We're doing it as a chamfer. We'll do it circular. Maybe we want it to be asymmetric, right? You know, I want it to be half an inch on one side and a quarter inch on the other. Like you can see on the side here. Now let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's go to 2.
Oops. There you go.
So yeah, you can see on the side view, we're getting, you know, it's higher on one side than the other. That's really what I'm trying to do. So 1.5. Now, you know, it's not reaching the hold line. Right. Of course, that's what's going on, but it's respecting it, right? So you can see right here, it's using just a portion of it. It's not erroring out or anything. So it's yeah.
So many useful ways to use this. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Control spacebar. Let's see. Let's go to the next option here. I'm not going to go through every single tiny one here. I'm going to go to the ones that are exciting me here right now. So here we have this window inside of this block right here. And I'm going to create a face blend between the two sides, 1 and 2. And in this case, we have a cliff edge situation, meaning, you know, let me just go back here and put the, you know, the radius isn't working right now because it can't blend because it has this window going on in here, right? So let me even go to something smaller so you can see what's going on. But you can see how the window is, you know, coming through here. But I can set a cliff edge here and here. Let's go to a different size here. There we are. So, you know, being able to get one fillet feature or face blend feature, even though this like massive window is in the way, you know, we're able to just pick the edges of the window that we want it to avoid and be done with it. Right.
Very nice.
That's perhaps something that you've been looking for.
Is that what was that? Cliff edges, cliff limit? Is that a standard industry term, or is that just something clever we came up with?
No, it's kind of an industry term. I mean, this is all parasolid, right? You know, we're a parasolid based system. And you know, sometimes these terms kind of bleed through, I think. And you know, these are just kind of geometry, you know, very much propeller head kernel kind of
okay.
All right. Nothing against kernel people. I have great respect. I just have no understanding of the mathematics of of kernel development. It's way over my head. There are many choices I have not even tried in here yet. it all. But there's a couple that I think I should bring up. Oh, wrong button. Let's do it on this one. Delete this feature. So let's get a plane in here. I'm going to offset a plane. Yeah, that looks good. Let's do another one. Something like that. So maybe I just want to fill it in between the two planes.
Oh, and you can use those. Oh.
So side 1 will be this and this. Side 2 will be that and that. We'll go to 2 inches. We'll set our control conic hold line. Okay. And where was I? Oh, yeah. We're also going to have limits. So here's the limits option. Plane limit. It can be a plane like this. Of course, I want to flip it in the other direction. Plane 2 over here. Right. So that's that. You can also do face and edge limits as well. So if I were over here, and if I did a face blend, I'll do this is side 1. This is side 2. I'm going to go to a 1/4 inch or something on this. Let's go to the outside. There we are. We'll show our ISO curves. And we need to propagate these things, you know, in a different way. Let's go to adjacent. Adjacent propagation is going to look to the adjacent faces. But I don't want this fillet going all the way around. I want it to go up this kind of slope, but not all the way. So that's where I'll use the limits again. And we can use a face limit. Like, well, a face limit's not going to work here, but an edge limit would. Edge. I haven't even tried this one. Do the face one again. And I'm going to detach it because it couldn't actually do a merge or anything like that between two surfaces. So that's why that was failing. But there's a third surface now that it created for this particular region. Yeah, you think of like all the situations in like mold design and things like that. You know, it's a very
very powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Sure. Yeah. Yep. Partial fillet based on planes. Yes. So a lot of things. I have not gone through every single scenario in here, but I'm excited to see what everybody else is going to be able to come up with for using the face blend, right? It's let's see. I mean, you know, you obviously don't want to use it is like a normal fillet. That's just one thing I would say because, you know, it's a powerful feature. There's a lot in it. Rebuild time is probably higher than a regular fillet, right? So just keep that in mind, you know, when you're using this. Don't go crazy using it, but use it where you obviously think you need it. So that's you know, just like you can do an extrude and you can do, you know, a loft to get the same exact thing. But
yeah. No, I think this will be very useful for a lot of folks. You know, I just thought what might make a good user group topic is a rundown of all the new surfacing tools that have come out in the last, you know, 6 or 8 months in Onshape and how they work together. And all I need is a volunteer to do that presentation. So I guess I'll put the word out for that.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. Drawings for you, Richard.
Yep. And we got the one change here. I think it's fantastic. Anytime that we can make drawings easier and make drawings more customizable to your standards, I'm all for it.
Yep. So yeah, I've you know, there are times when you have a geometric tolerance and you want to put a surface finish symbol on top of it.
Yep.
You know,
and now you can
support it, and now you can. There's always going to be little things like that will pop up.
Yep. Delighters. Little delighters.
more drawing stuff, but on the inspection side of things, the Onshape inspection. It's not a separate product, by the way. It's just part of Onshape. Every user has it, even the free users. So, we have the ability to add inspection bubbles to your dimensions, right? Now, the thing that's new is that you see what it's highlighting there? It's highlighting just the depth, right? And so we can attach to itemized pieces of the whole call out or a chamfer dimension, when adding the inspection bubbles, right? And you can see it's already got different types of tolerances on it too. It kind of does some cross highlighting there. As I hover over 5, you see it highlighted what it was attached to, right?
Well, that's really clever.
And that information, of course, is then publishable, to, you hit export, export an inspection list. And it gives you a CSV file, so you can just add it to your template, whatever template you're using for your PPAP or AS9102 or, first article inspections, right? You just take that and just paste it into the sheet. And you can see, this is the format that it'll give it. This is just, Apple numbers, it's just the first thing that popped up when I opened the CSV file. But you can see each item was called out, right? In the whole call out, we have 5 individual rows for a single whole call out, because those are the things that an inspector on the floor would need to inspect, right? So, and it obviously is calculating the upper and lower limits. Like this one was 13, 0.2 minus 1 millimeters, and it's calculating, that for me. And this one, it just read it obviously because it was it was set already to limit tolerances, right? So, and of course, it picks up on the geometric tolerance. So that's there. It works on chamfer dimensions too.
Nicely done.
Yeah. School plans, education enterprise. Did you know Onshape has an incredible education enterprise program that schools can buy? You buy one subscription for your school, you have it, and you have all this great technology for managing your coursework and classes and students, right? So it's not just a CAD system, it's an entire not curriculum, but like the way to manage your classes and curriculum and homeworks and tasks is all handled by Onshape. It's not just a CAD system for a school. So, there's always been, improvements in the last, as we're getting ready for the next school year, the ability to clone a class, right? And, when you're creating all these different students, it's going to set the student as the default choice now when adding new users, because, you're going to have more students.
That makes sense. Yep, absolutely.
So just makes it a lot easier for the educators out there creating classes in Onshape. iOS. So I just I went out and got myself a new iPad, the bigger one with the 12.9 screen, and went with a white keyboard just to be weird. And Onshape obviously runs on iOS, right? And Android and web browsers. The ability to copy and paste different tabs, it's going to be a little different on an iPad. So, you just got to come up with different techniques to do it. So here you can go to any tab in a document here. You can copy and then paste the tab. You just copy to clipboard, paste. And now I have 2 different assemblies. I might remade it or something to create a left-hand version of this brake caliper or something like that. Just most of the assembly was done. All I had to do was just swap out a couple parts. It's using the same references. So, it's a kind of a nice thing you can do. You can do it internal to a document or external, of course. So if you wanted to, it would go to the clipboard buffer, and then you would paste it into another document, as long as it's in the same account, of course.
Yeah.
Creating a make connector on the fly also is now supported for iOS. So you saw me do that in the Revolve feature earlier today, right? But you can do this now on the iOS version. This is all touch-based version, works on pencil. But you see there's now a little symbol there, make connector symbol, just like you saw in the browser earlier. And now I can just touch that with my finger. And now I'm putting I've created a sketch plane, at that particular location essentially, and it found the centroid of the face there.
Wow, you're really fast on the iPad there, Mike.
The iPad's really fast. I mean, ask Airwick, right? I mean, yeah. Here it's really fast because all I'm doing is just tapping with my finger, getting close to the center, and I'm able to just drop in all these holes, right?
Nice.
Yeah, just drop in a hole, is bang, 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 bang with my finger. It's way faster than I can use a mouse. But just nice to see the iOS version getting this. By the way, I didn't make a video for this, but the face blend also is fully supported on the iPad. You can create or edit face blend features on the iPad. Sorting of custom features on the iPad. If you have a lot of custom features, you're a feature script driven kind of company, being able to find those custom features was a little odd before because they weren't in any particular order that made sense. But now you can see beam, light and point, port, spur, W, they're in alphabetical order. So
nice.
a new one. It will put it in the right order. So I put a duplicate spur gear in there just to show that they would be next to each other in the list. But yeah, just little things like that. You ever import a Rhino file, Richard?
I have not. I do a lot of ASIS, IGES, and SAT files, but I don't run across too many Rhino files.
Okay. Well, Rhino's a great tool for doing, kind of the curve-based surface modeling. A lot of people have that software, so it's a great tool. We can import and export to Rhino native data. This is an improvement when dealing with transparent colors because Rhino has some interesting ways of doing colors that are transparent, even at the point of mesh and stuff. So it's like, it's now that we have mesh capability as well, we can do more things here. So we have just better support for the Rhino transparency color scheme. And then for anybody, IGES file, if people still need IGES files, believe it or not.
They do. Yeah, every now and then.
Every now and then. There's actually like lots of machinery out there that still relies on an IGES file as the input to drive things like a tube laser cutter or something. There's a number of tube laser cutters that only take IGES files. So and there's certain things that certain characteristics, and they might need older versions of IGES for it to work. So now we have choices upon export. Actually, let me try it. Let's see what happens.
I'm one of those old timers that remembers when IGES, well, I don't know if I was around when it first came out, but I was around when it was in use. And it wasn't very long after that everybody said, IGES is going away. We have to find something new. IGES is going away. Very similar to the folks that said the STL file was going away.
I mean, how we might want it to go away, but
right? But we also might have to keep it almost forever, So
yeah, this is the new choice right here. New checkbox option under I just use compatibility mode for surfaces and curves. So that should try that if you're having issues with it not reading an IGES file into your downstream application. Just use that checkbox and you'll be able to use the International Graphics and Exchange standard format.
Excellent. I don't know if you noticed it here, but the engineer is wondering if you could share your face blend document publicly so that they'd get a head start on practicing.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Let's share. Yeah, this is I'm going to make it public. There we are. And yeah, they're just to let you know, because I had to do this show really quick after the release. I just imported a bunch of surfaces into this document and performed the additional functions on it. So you're not going to see all the other Onshape features just because I was doing them on another stack, right? Another pre-production stack and practicing in those. But just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. All you have to do is there's the public link right there. And if you search for face blend, you're gonna find it. Or if I put this, there's not a good, I guess I could post a comment here for the face blend. if that works. I know YouTube sometimes blocks hyperlinks and things like that. So just let me know if that works or not, or hopefully I didn't just like block our company from YouTube by doing that. But yeah. But yeah, just search for face blend. You'll find it. All right. What else do we have? I think that was pretty much it. Let me just check the change log, because sometimes, it's there's a couple of other things in here.
I noticed an update on, I think it was subassembly performance. I noticed that when I looked through the change log, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, we're always every release we're looking for performance improvements, things that we can do to cut out things that don't need to be done. So things like that are always happening. So glad to see that. Yeah, a bunch of things here. Improve list value creation and custom properties. I don't know. How did I miss that one? Let's check something right here. Applicate. Where are my custom properties? Here we are. Yeah, I'm not gonna explore right now. I'm not gonna bore you. But yeah, I was really happy with this release.
Yep.
Wow, this show is almost an hour.
That's because there was some really good stuff here.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you folks sticking around for the whole hour too. We really appreciate you joining us. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our podcast, and that way you'll be notified when every episode drops. We always put something in the forums on release day. Pretty much guaranteed, if a release comes out before 5 p.m. Eastern time, we'll usually get on the air right away, or the next morning if it comes out a little bit later than that. So
yeah.
If you like coming and talking to us, we appreciate having you, and we're glad you're here. Mike, you did a great job showing these things. You always do.
Thanks. And, well, it's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate all the dev team that made this update happen. It's we want to make sure we put out things that make sense and that are performant and work well. So I'm really excited, that I have the ability to show this to you, and I'm happy that you joined us. So definitely like and subscribe to the Onshape channel so you get the updates. We literally just had another live stream right before this one with John Hirschtick, Think Like a Startup. So definitely look for that podcast live stream as well. It's great if you're in the startup community. We have a lot of startup initiatives going right now, because I think now is the time to get, now is the time for everybody to join Onshape.
Yep, we've got a startup user group that's getting going. They'll meet on April 27th. So there's lots of information out there about the startup program.
Yeah,
definitely well worth it.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I think we're done. I'm going to go back and play around with that line to arc transition a little bit more, because, like I said, it's just fun to do.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
We'll see everybody on the next show.
All right. Have fun, everybody.
So long, everybody.